Grade 9, Chapter 4. A Truly Beautiful Mind. A truly beautiful mind refers to Albert Einstein, as he was a great scientist. Who do you think of when you hear the word genius? Who is a genius, and what qualities do you think a genius has? Yes, we are talking about Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Lund. Without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, his mother thought Einstein was a freak. The story of Einstein tries to show him as a human being, a fairly who has his likes and dislikes, his streaks of rebellion, and his problems. Einstein's mother thought that he was a freak, as she was unaware about the fact that he was inquisitive to learn more about life. He wanted to know it all. He observed the things very minutely and came up with his own conclusions. We shall now read about a young German civil servant who took the world by storm about 100 years ago. In summer of 1905, the 26-year-old published in quick succession four groundbreaking papers about light, the motion of particles, the electrodynamics of moving bodies, and energy. His work took up in scientific journals but changed forever our understanding of space, time, and the entire cosmos, and transformed the name Einstein into a synonym for genius. 50 years after his death, Albert Einstein's genius still reigns. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him rather boring. So the youngster played by himself much of the time, and he led a lonely life. He especially loved mechanical sister Maja. He is said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" So you can make out how interested he was in learning about mechanics or mechanical things. Einstein was interested in knowing different things and learning about how they worked. Einstein's headmaster once told his father that wouldn't what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter because he'll never make a success at anything. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur, maintaining this skill throughout his life. Einstein was not a bad pupil, but his teachers and his headmaster could not understand him. They did not know what he was interested in learning. Einstein went to where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. So when Einstein moved to Munich, he scored very good marks. He scored very good marks in all the subjects in the school. Einstein hated the school's regimentation. He hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with his At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled there that he left the school for good. Einstein did not like to attend the school because of the school's regimentation. Regimentation here means order or discipline, extreme level. So at the age of 15, he left the school. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. After prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German speaking Switzerland in a city which was more liberal than Munich. So, this is how Einstein got admission, but he left the school. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics, and after finishing school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Mary, whom he found to be a clever creature. This young sir had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines, those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. Philistines, a word used disapprovingly to talk about people who do not like art, literature, or music. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Wrote Einstein. If you read the letter, you read what Einstein had written. How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. In 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Supposed to be assessing other people's inventions, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. One of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they came together again. One of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. From this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy, that is, E equals to mc square. While Einstein was difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. The pair finally married in January 1903 and had two sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. Faltered means became weak. Mileva meanwhile intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. So this is how we get to know that Einstein had a very life. Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to world fame. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. He was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world and lauded by the press. So this is what we learn about Einstein in this chapter, and we get to know that he was a real genius. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction when the Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. He died in 1955 at the age of 76. He was celebrated as a visionary and world citizen as much as a scientific genius. Visionary here means a person who can think about the future in an original and intelligent way. Read the autobiography, learn more about Einstein, and see how he changed about the mindset of people after what he calls is his genius invention about relativity. 21st August 2005, original handwritten manuscript of Albert Einstein was unearthed, and we learn more about Einstein on his last theory, that is behavior of atoms at low temperature, now known as the Bose-Einstein condensation. The manuscript is to be kept at the Leiden University where Einstein got the Nobel Prize. So there are some notes which are interesting to read. So you can do some research work and come up with your own script for writing. Jot down your ideas to summarize the chapter.